how did the person die?
Medically, they died muscle atrophy. They couldn't breathe anymore. They suffocated, basically, because their muscles they gave out on them. Likely prolonged bed rest.
Okay.
That's when the body died. But your kind of area is supernatural in nature. It's also claiming that they died several months back.
Okay. So, with that one, you said it was only a couple days, so decomposition hasn't really had a lot of time to set in. How's their appearance been altered since death? Undamaged appearance, essentially.
Again, it's giving you two replies here. They died and have been buried in the dirt for a few days, so decay is setting in, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Scavengers, decomposers. But from the point of death months back, it's just a very... They looked like they were in their prime, essentially. The picture of a few days ago from a few months ago is quite stark. They've wasted away, essentially.
And I think the third and final question, other minor facts. So my question is going to kind of fall into that vein. Was there any foreign thing living in them? If that's too much, let me know. And I'll ask us another question.
So I can give you the answer of yes, because everyone does. You have your gut bacteria.
Well,
No, that's not what you're asking.
And realistically isn't what foreign means in this case, because technically everybody has those gut bacteria.
So it wouldn't really be foreign.
It kind of is from a textbook standpoint. They are, but
it's a gray area.
Yeah, it's not that gray of an area. They are not
Grayish.
human cells, so they are foreign bodies. They're just beneficial foreign bodies. But so you're asking, was there anything foreign living in them?
Essentially, I'm trying to confirm whether or not their thesis is correct.
In this case, it's a little more confusing. You look 3 days ago, they say no. You look a month ago, it says yes.
So at this point, Vitus is going to kind of stand and look at Stahl. Person's been dead for months. Not their body, but them as a person have been dead for months. If their parasite theory is correct, then that parasite knows when to get the hell out of Dodge and left either shortly before or after their death, depending on exact, time. Interesting. After knowing this, going back through the research I looked through, what are some of the, if you want me to roll, that's fine, some correlations that I'm noticing between what my mortician's appraisal and what the field researchers have?
Correlations? Just trying to tie things together?
Yeah, essentially, because this thing's saying that my power's saying that they died months ago, so there had to have been some change in the person in that.
So, date of admission jumps out quite quite apparently. They can't confirm when this guy got attacked, but they can guess based on the state of the body when it was found and when it was brought in. The body was brought in a couple months ago. Lines up pretty closely, just a few days off from what your sense was telling you.
Okay.
3 days, around 3 days before or 3 days after?
His sense is telling him they died a few days after they were brought here.
What about with
3
the?
days before, sorry.
Ooh,
3 days before.
what about the? I'm just gonna call it a parasite for ease right now.
Mm-hmm.
Where does that fall in on the time of death? Was that because that was that 3 days before as well, or 3 days after the death?
It was lined up pretty much with the old death, the months ago death. Basically the same time was the parasite there, but afterwards it either died with them or left.
Okay.
But it was present at the time of death.
Okay, that's what I was getting at.
Yeah, sorry, this is a very strange thing to be describing through voice.
No, it's fine.
Supernatural, weird.
As Vitus kind of turns to be walking back, he's kind of muttering to himself, but also to Stahl. You know, there were a lot of theories passed around where I came from about my condition. Some people say it was a curse. Some people say it was a parasite. With the way things are going, who's to say that this isn't some sort of parasitical version of ourself, or of myself?
I'm not so sure. I mean, I don't see any of these corpses walking back to the land of the living.
Yeah, it doesn't quite work that way. It's a very deliberate act. I do want to collect one of their bloodsuckers, as they call them. I want to figure out what makes them tick. Maybe exploring their nature might help me better understand my own.
You want to drop by the power plant then? I hear that's where they wander around.
Looking at the time of night, how long have we actually spent here?
It took you some time to read through everything.
Yeah.
You've been here a few hours. Like, you're not in danger of getting caught out here, but you stand here for another 2 hours, you might be.
As much as I would like to do it this night, I think it would be prudent for us to head back. I will thank the good researcher for his work and let him know that I will be around. I will certainly be coming back, but Tell him that you know what, I'll do it. And then Vitus is actually just going to head back on his own to speak with the doctor. If Stahl follows, Stahl follows.
What do you want me to do with the corpse? Do I just toss it or?
I didn't actually lift it up out of the hole, so it would just be throwing dirt on it. I just need to touch it. I just need to touch the body.
Bad touch.
No, I'm not that far gone yet. If I was a couple of humanity dots lower, then we would be talking about that type of stuff.
As Vitus talks to the doctor, I'll probably rebury the body and then I'll meet back up with him.
Okay. So as Vitus returns, it's, well, Mr. Mysterious Nightman, Vitus, suppose I'll use your name. What did your great autopsy skills discover? Anything? It was a case of he was just here too long. He didn't wake up, unfortunately.
Well, he was definitely dead for months. Not body, obviously. But he had been officially dead for months. Whatever did it was there and then left the body upon death. Whether it died with him or left, that is a working theory I'm going with right now. I need more time.
On what data? What did we miss?
You missed nothing. Your notes are impeccable, actually. I do appreciate them. I am just trying to line up your notes with what I was able to observe. You've been out here long enough. You believe in things called psychics. Let's just call me a psychic. But obviously not.
Another Weiss. Alright. That's fine.
I'm not gonna give you any sort of answer at this time. I need more data. Particularly once I find one of the bloodsuckers, I might have more of an answer for you after that. But I need to return to my comrades.
Maybe you can go grab your textbooks from that Arkham University you graduated from. Ugh.
I fail to see your reference, but
I wish it was just something we could see. I hate having to stoop to these. I suppose that's what they did, though.
to be fair,
Sorry, I've been awake too long.
we all have. I am not ruling out that it is not something you can't see yet. Don't worry. It still may have very mundane causes. But if it is the latter and it left after the time of death, then it is something relatively sentient and capable of movement. Maybe an interesting insect of some sort.
Parasitic worm doesn't have to be sentient to move. But I digress. I wish you the best of luck with meeting back up. Keep your eyes on the woods. You never know what's out there.
Stahl. Up.
Right.
During the day, I want you, if there's even one sitting off in the distance, anything that you actually, before we get too far, I'm actually going to turn back. These bloodsuckers, they look human or they look like something in between?
Something far in between. Humanoid shape. So, admittedly, you wouldn't even have to ask him that because there would have been sketches, diagrams in.
Oh, fair enough.
They are humanoid. Their very defining characteristic is very almost pale gray skin with well, that's the best way to say Cthulhu tentacles on their face.
So, relaying that to Stahl, I'm just going to be like, kill it, and then bring its corpse. Even if you see one off in the distance. Triple your normal wage.
Not bad.
I will also be, as we get back in Vitus's head, he's also keeping a mental note to relay some of this information to Kalmir.
I'm asleep.
Well, yeah, but he's making mental note to make sure to share the information.
Gotcha.
And if not anything, he's gonna tell Stahl to relay the information to everybody as well.
Alright, so trek back to the RV. Uneventful as the trek out. And it is getting pretty early, I suppose. Man, vampires, I can't just use like late in.
Late night, early morning.
Yeah, at this point, day sleep will start calling relatively soon, so.
Yep, so with that, Vitus heads out for the night, or for the day.
Morning continues to roll around. I presume the rest of you perhaps start stirring, or started stirring when Vitus and Stahl returned.
Yeah.
Look out. Is it starting to get brighter?
Yes.
Ish. Okay.
The sun
Dawn is-
rises.
Dawn is here. Wait for our friend. We didn't get his name. While I was watching him during the conversation, I forgot to ask.
Of course you forgot to ask.
I
He
know
had a
you-
soul, yes.
Okay. Did it look normal? Normal person?
Huh. Give me a perception.
Okay.
Retroactive perception.
There you go.
Yeah, retroactive perception.
As I think back on the guy. 2 successes.
So it looked very, very normal. What you'd expect a human soul to be. But, you have to squint just ever so slightly. See just little specks of something. Something clearly not naturally in a soul.
Okay. Kalmir is just thinking back on that. But, of course, not saying it out loud. So I guess we just need to wait for him to show up? Oh, wait, no, we need to go meet him at the... What's it called? The bar? Right?
No one knows. So,
I don't know the name of the bar, but yeah.
I don't remember what it's called.
No, he wasn't asking what the name of the bar was. He doesn't know what a bar is, so that's what it was called.
Yeah, he should.
Yeah.
He'll probably be there, ready for us.
Okay, well, grab your supplies. We're going on a trek. I wonder if it's far.
so as you return, you pull back into town. It's not too hard to track him down. He's pretty close to the middle of town, just sitting around a campfire with a couple other people. As you approach, I mean, you're not hard to miss. He does get it. It gets his attention, and he starts to stand up, kind of just patting his pockets, checking everything. And he starts walking over to meet you. Basically, in the middle of the road is just, oh, good morning, friends. Ready to hunt.
Tullus kind of throws his shotgun up onto his shoulder and goes, "What game?"
Ah, Bloodsuckers and the Dead. It'll be a great fun.
So, is our primary target one of those bloodsuckers?
It is indeed. I lost my brother to it. It's going to die today. Or I'm going to die today as well.
Is it far? Are we walking? Are we riding?
It is a few hours walk. It's not too far, but terrain is rough. We should get there though by not even by midday. It'll be well, final preparations, my friends. Oh, that reminds me. He kind of motions over to one of the people sitting at the campfire and hands him a paper. The guy sitting at the campfire hands the main guy a paper and is just, this was given as payment for a contract recently, and he starts walking over towards Cherry. Do you recognize this at all? It was the other group of outsiders. They were paying in loans or something. He, like an idiot, accepted this instead of getting cash. It's not
Yeah.
good to see Shuron symbol logo on it.
Yeah. I am not surprised. I'm not surprised by the icon on this. I'm not surprised by the icon on this. Sorry, I need to go back to Cherry voice. I'm not surprised by the icon on this. Worrisome, though.
Yeah, they came in a week or two ago. Started hiring everyone who would take their money.
Unsurprising. Or do you know what they were attempting? Do you know what they were attempting to do?
A lot of it was artifact acquisition.
Collecting artifacts, perhaps also collecting some of the mutants themselves.
You know what? More power to them. More mutants that they collect, less mutants that are out there willing to kill me.
I would not say that is accurate. She gives back the paper.
Kind of chucks at the other guy and is just, yeah, worthless anyways.
In all likelihood.
Well, yeah, let's get moving then. Don't have all day. I'd rather get this done before nightfall. There should be enough time to finish this and truck out to the reactor.
Tullus kind of just shoulders the shotgun. He came fairly with most of the weapons that he could carry, so he's looking particularly strapped at this moment.
Olive stuff, rifles, stuff sticking out his back.
Well, not to the point where it's obviously ridiculous, but you know, he probably does have his shotgun, a rifle, his pistol.
You need to, mimic a fraction of my power,
Alright. So, this man leads you essentially through the woods, through the old ruins of the towns around here and whatnot. It's a quiet walk. The forest is eerily quiet. There's no birds out. Not a whole lot of activity. Before eventually, forest opens up back into more industrialized buildings and whatnot. It is a railway area. There's tracks, but mostly just warehouses off to the side. Doesn't look like they were hooked up at all to these tracks at all. They were just built nearby. Upon cresting a ridge, he kind of points out and is... That warehouse there is the last I saw of it, but there's a good chance that it's trekking between all of them. They burrow, they dig their little tunnels between their zones here. Well, we can either sweep it from the outside in, or start where we last saw it and get in the middle of it all. I don't know what you're capable of. And I don't know how methodical you like to be.
First in, last out. No room left unchecked.
Very well. Proper military breaching. Alright. Keep your guns loaded and your wits about you.
Any particular weaknesses these things seem to have? Or is it just full and full until they stop moving?
That's the generally accepted tactic for a lot of things around here. You want to hit them from range. They get close to you and, well, that's how you stop fighting. Like a lot of things around here, really. You want to break line of sight as much as you can. If you start feeling pain in the back of your head, you want to break line of sight. That's the only advice I can give you. Anything else is pray.
Tullus kind of shoots Kalmir a glance as if he's looking at the mage to see if he knows maybe anything at all.
Kalmir is currently looking around. He's looking for a spear because he lost his old spear. Anything that can be used as a spear, sharp and pointy.
I mean, they're not very good spear.
Yeah, I know. I figured.
You know, a pointed,
I will
rusted
use
metal. You know,
my my improvised weapon
Oh no.
to give him a weapon.
Oh no.
I used it, but I have it.
I for some reason thought he was gonna use an improvised weapon, cold his tongue, and lick something. That's...
please do not lick the mutants.
Gonna have a bad time.
But yeah, no, so it's not, you can find a, break off an old piece of pipe that now is kind of sharp. Or something.
Something spearish. Yeah.
Take a railroad track and kind of snap.
I mean, it's better than than probably the sharp rock that he had before.
It was a proper spear, but Neolithic proper.
Yeah, sharp rock on a stick. Maybe sharp rock tied to a stick.
It'll still
Maybe
kill
a
you.
sharp stick if you're just not lucky.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, sharp stick, and then you put it in the fire for a bit so it gets hardened. Mm-hmm.
But yes, you have an improvised spear.
Ah. Okay.
Also, his dog with us.
He was part of the radioactive spell, so he's immune.
So yes, dog is just, he's here, don't mind him.
He's tracking. He's a good track dog.
Poor dog.
Poor dog. He's a combat dog. He knows what he's doing.
So, as you guys kind of make your way towards the first of these warehouses, the bodies sort of shambling around are quite apparent. They're not very hard to miss. They're not quiet. There's only a couple of them, 3. Just they are humanoid, but rotted, decayed,
Tolos is
shambling around.
gonna look at our newfound friend and be like, so pump it full of lead, or is it like the movies? And you can see his face kind of drain, like he's annoyed by saying that.
These ones, yeah, you can take them out like the movies. Good old Western movies. But no, the ones that are still sort of intact, those are the ones you want to watch for, because they can move quicker. These, rotted enough. Save your ammo. Knife them down if you can. And as he's saying this, he's kind of unsheathing essentially a combat knife.
Tolos just
Do all of them have this ability to attack from range, from a distance?
Only the main one. These are... The dangerous part about these is the fact that they can sneak up on you while you're fighting the main one.
Mm.
These are its little guardians that it uses to distract you, or it attacks you while you're dealing with them. But we're outside right now. We should be. Sight lines are pretty open. We should see it coming.
I'll let you guys handle the minions. I'll take down the main one.
Did you forget about the part where he said do not engage in close quarters?
That's from normal people. I'll be fine.
I would advise you caution. Because, yes, you're not normal people. This thing's not normal people either. We don't have 100% guarantee that you're going to stack up 1-for-1 against it.
Honestly, that's what I'm hoping for. I need that soldier.
Don't you have to solo it for that?
Yeah, that's why I want to fight it. 1-1-1.
I am far too aware of the pain of trying to get soldier.
PTSD for Gandhi.
How am I supposed to fight like a superior enemy when I have a 9 in strength?
Narrative superior, don't worry about it. So, the little zombies here essentially are dispatched quite quickly. And the clearing begins. The first warehouse is empty. There's a couple more of these shambling creatures inside. Not all of them inside are even human. You have animals, but they're dispatched quickly. Before you get to the end of this warehouse, it does open up into very beast-like carved tunnels. Like, these are dug tunnels, claw and whatnot. And this is how it likes to get around, isn't it? Keep your wits about you. The dirt here isn't always as hard as you'd like it to be.
Should we send in the dog?
He can certainly track just fine. And
I was meaning send him into the hole.
oh, into the hole. How big is the hole?
It's big enough that you could all basically crouch through.
Oh, I see.
Not tall enough, not big enough to stand in it, but crouch kind of. You could get through on all fours pretty easily, and you can kind of crouch through on 2 legs.
Well, he can go in and come back if there's something bad in there. If there's a creature in there, and then we can lure it out here if that's what you're wanting.
Having the element of surprise seems like a good idea. So, who should we have? Or Stahl, you really want to try this by yourself? partially in-game and out-of-game asking here.
Yeah, I've got this.
Okay.
The worst thing that can happen is I'll die, and I'll help in its own way.
Our companion here is quite adept. If he says he can handle it, I haven't seen any reason why I should doubt him at this time. We will obviously be nearby to give support. Otherwise, let's just make sure nothing gets the drop on him. What exactly does the inside of this warehouse look like now that we're getting into like nitty-gritty stuff here?
It's a pretty open room. It's got some old shipping containers, which have honestly, most of them have been broken into. It does have a second floor. It is like grated railing. You could get up there, overwatch it. You could get up into like, I guess, quote unquote, the third floor. It's support beams, rafters. You're not technically supposed to walk up there, but you could get up there if you wanted.
All right. So, how many entrances does this place have?
It's got two smaller doors in the back, and then it's got multiple large kind of shipping receiving doors. 6 of them along the front of the building, essentially, for like 18-wheeler stuff.
Tolis turns to Cherry, and I'm assuming Rose is here as well.
Presumably, yes.
Could you two spot for us? Too many entrances. We don't have enough manpower to keep all of them watched at the same time.
Okay.
On that note, I want to cast a spell.
No. Now that I've sent Rose away.
Yeah.
I mean, your guide here is taking up an overwatch position over this hole.
It won't be an obvious spell.
Okay.
It's more of an internal spell.
Alright. Then you're alright.
Yeah, it's going to be a combination of the outward and inward eye, which is space 1, which lets me see in all directions from any point in those directions, and forces to zoom in, which will let me see out to a distance of my forces rating in miles.
I feel like I've seen this one before.
Yeah, this is the one I...
Yep.
Do you have any other spells? Like, I feel like this is the 4th time you've cast it.
This is only the 2nd time.
Is it?
Well,
I think you cast it once in this game, so this will be the 3rd time, I think.
well, I mean, that's
Just-
why... Yeah, I'm just going to cast it. I put in the thing 10 dice, so let me just go roll 10 dice.
Just... I don't remember this spell ever working for you. This time it exceptionally works, though.
Well, the first time I tried to make it indefinite. And the second time, I was only using one part of it. So hooray! I see everything everywhere.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm just going to keep this up that way I can have a general sense of what's happening everywhere in the area.
Okay. So give me a perception then.
Okay.
Because you are now seeing everything.
Yeah.
It's kind of a lot to take in.
And 2 successes on perception.
Okay, so you see a lot more of these shambling creatures spread throughout the warehouses through these tunnels. These tunnels are quite extensive. They go between all these warehouses. There's a whole network of them. They're all interconnecting, leading to little carved out rooms, dens, burrows, whatever you want to call them.
Okay. And it's filled with the shambling ones,
Mostly, yes.
mostly. Is there any indication of the more powerful one?
There's not.
I'm going to. Well, who's near me? We were still standing by the hole, right?
With the exception of a couple of us, yeah.
Okay. I'm sensing these tunnels are deep, but I don't think there's a few of the ones that we've been fighting. I don't see what could be one of the more powerful ones that he's referring to. Do we have a better description of what it might look like? Feel like?
Tullus makes a small sigh. Probably, especially with Kalmir's perception roll, he would catch the sigh. Anybody else would probably need to roll, but it's a very, very exasperated sigh. And he kind of lowers his shotgun and turns and faces the way the guy went, and he goes, "So where's the thing? It's not here."
We've cleared one building.
Yeah, and we have ways of clearing everything very, very quickly.
Then by all means, go down there and wake it up.
I see a sleeping one.
Go ahead and waltz on in unprepared. Be my guest. But you wanted to do this tactically. It's probably not here. It's probably at the center of its little nest here.
How deep is the catacombs?
They're not super deep. At their deepest, they're probably about 50 meters under the ground.
Okay. And how far out do they go?
They connect all these warehouses. They are quite extensive, several hundred meters in most directions.
Okay, I'm gonna rephrase his question because I don't think he asked his question quite right. Is there any part of these tunnels that he cannot see within, what, 4 miles?
5 miles.
5 miles. That was what you were really asking.
It was, yeah.
So, your light just turned on.
Yes.
Surprise! I mean, these are still dangerous creatures. Yes, they should be taken care of regardless, right? Uh-oh.
So, Kalmir,
Yes.
this argument's going on.
Okay, what do I see?
Well, you see stuff kind of burrowing out of the ground, in the tunnels. But it was in the dirt. It wasn't clear to see.
Right, that makes sense.
Up until this point. Whatever the yelling has done, though, probably has echoed a little bit.
Oh.
It's awake.
See,
It's not just one of them, though. It's two.
it seems to have buried itself. I could not sense it before. It's up now. Both of them. Were there supposed to be two of them?
I hope there's not. That's a pain in the ass to deal with.
My,
Look fairly similar.
if my friend says there's two, there's two.
He's glad I brought extra ammo. Alright, Mr. Wizard. Where are they? I really am hunting with a pack of mutants myself, aren't I? Whatever. I'm done with this place. Too old for this.
Oh,
You're calling Cherry back now?
No, we.
Stahl, you said you wanted to fight one of them, right?
You don't need to be texting this. You can say it.
All right, well, I'm already screwed as is. I'm taking one, not both.
I can leave one for you if you'd like.
Let's just keep the other one off of Stahl's back. Cherry and Rose, I still should stay up there to keep an watch out for the little shambling ones so they don't get the drop on us.
Out of curiosity, hey, do they have any particular weaknesses, or are they just shoot them full of lead, as you say?
If we knew a weakness, they wouldn't be here anymore.
Understandable.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
Even when you find something susceptible, you find something they're susceptible to, things are mutated here. It's unfortunate. It doesn't always work. What works in one fight may not save you in the next. Adaptability is the thing that keeps you alive out here.
Well, let's.
As we're talking, are those things moving
Yes.
toward us?
Yes.
They are coming. Stahl, how important is this this fight to you? You seem to really wanted to fight one of them at least.
Feel like I'm on the edge of, achieving something. I just
fight both. Do it, coward.
Oh, it specifies I had to fight in single combat, so unfortunately, my hands are tied.
How do you define single combat?
Every minute spent debating tactics is another minute they...
That's completely out of character. I'm just...
No,
Kalmir, you would very quickly notice these shamblers are all converging
Ooh.
on your position.
Oh, they're surrounding us. We should move at least. If we can separate one from the other and the group from the rest, if that makes sense, then we should be good. Are the two that are coming, are they near each other? Like coming together?
No. They are coming from separate they were burrowed separately.
Ah, okay, I thought they were like near each other.
I mean, the longer, the closer
Yeah, they're getting closer, they're getting closer.
They're kind of coming through the network. Eventually, they're going to hit the same main tunnel.
Going after one of them.
you just.
What, I never got your name. Do you know what the one we're looking for looks like? Any
They all
distinct?
look the same to me.
They all look the same.
I
So
didn't see the one that killed him.
okay.
You just hear Tola start muttering, "The day I don't have any ordnance." Great.
Okay. So I'll be back in 1 minute, and I'm gonna crawl into the tunnel. And once I'm out of sight of, I don't know his name, the sleeper, I'm gonna cast another spell. I'm gonna target the furthest one with Eradicate Energy.
What does that do?
It's forces 5,
He's literally just trying to delete it from existence, essentially.
Jesus Christ. I have Forces 5, yes.
He's literally just going, I'm going to try and delete.
That's why I asked, how important is this fight to you? Oops, wrong button.
Force. Why are we even here? We have a mage with Forces 5.
I'm.
Okay, so it is withstood, however, by stamina.
Yes.
So, I have to check this because
You were not expecting.
no, it's just it has a higher stamina than 5, so I have to go into the sheet attributes to see what
Oh
it
my.
does.
Also, if it has a supernatural tolerance stat.
Oh no, its stamina is just 5, so that just means it's only a withstand of 8.
Supernatural tolerance doesn't work on spells, so yay.
Oh.
Well, it's only a withstand of 8, so
Only 8.
only 8.
Thought you said 5.
Well, it gets a +3 to its physical rolls. To its stats, I mean.
Oh,
It's a horror.
okay, well, let's see.
It gets a +3 to its physical attributes while it's here. I don't
Alright,
know
so
what to tell you.
let me put some numbers in my thing here. And see, resisted.
So, well, I think it would be time to start putting shots into any of the shamblers that get a little too close at this time.
Yeah, at this point they are slowly kind of breaching the building. And I guess I can call for a roll just to see how, because there are quite a lot of them coming in.
All right, so, what is it? Is it 9 again? I know it's absolutely stupid what I have for Tullus. Give me one moment. Yes, it's 9 again. Okay. So I'm guessing it's going to be a firearm dexterity roll.
Yeah.
9 again. +1 for my specialty.
Alright, so I'm going to be rolling a whopping 5 dice. Ay caramba.
That's actually it's a lot lower than I actually thought it would be, but that's fine.
And 1 paradox.
How many paradox dice do you have at note? What is your gnosis even? I don't know.
Gnosis 5,
So that's.
but I'm using it. Normally would be 3. I'm
so
using
that's
my
just 1.
my dedicated tool with.
At some point, I don't know. I'm kind of hoping for the mage to fail.
Are you containing or releasing the paradox?
I'm going to contain it. Oh, did it succeed? Okay.
Well,
I'm a
you
good
know.
mage. I'll contain it. Oh no, my spell failed. I'm gonna back out of the hole. But the I think the paradox still happens, right?
Yep.
It's
So
only
that's-
5 dice? I thought it was Arcana plus.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
it's-
was stand.
It's Arcana plus Gnosis, but it was withstood. So that's
Oh, okay.
took a fair bit of my dice away.
Alright, so it's a paradox condition, huh?
I thought it was damage. Or am I wrong?
Is it damage?
Let's look up paradox. I'm gonna
Let's
back out of the hole. I'll look it up while you guys continue.
Yeah, I don't know what containing paradox does because I only release it. So,
I know, you Mr. Celestia over here.
talking about. All right, so yeah, your spell unfortunately does not go off.
Okay, I'm back out of the hole.
It
Okay.
does look at you though as you cast it, as you fail to cast it. It does turn to make direct looking at you.
Oh, I didn't think it was that close. Okay.
Well, no, it's just looking at you through the walls. You can only see it because you can see through the walls too.
It's looking at me through the wall.
Yes.
Oh my.
Okay, so Kalmir backs out of the hole.
Yes. Okay, well that didn't work, but I did find out they can see through walls, apparently. That's not
The firefight above ground here has taken off as Tullus and your guide here, who I have a name for, but it hasn't been a good time for him to say it yet. Start firing at these shamblers that keep breaking their way into the building. They're being held off for now, dropping them as they come in.
I need to roll wisdom as a dice pool. 3 successes. Cancels out 1 success on paradox. 1 resistant bashing wound to me.
So, is anyone else doing anything? Or is it a waiting game?
I'm still putting down zombies as they get too close.
Alright.
There's nothing I can do.
Both of the big ones are coming out of the same hole or near holes?
They will be soon.
Okay. Well, they're both coming out of here very soon. So get ready.